Welcome to the Wicked Radio Network.
Recorded to you live from Craig Still up on Shay Mountain. This is the Wicked Theory Podcast. We're back. This is the Wicked Theory Podcast. I'm your host. My name is Bill Sweeney. As usual, I bring a team, but I got a little somebody special this week. As usual, I got my buddy Tom.
What's up?
I got my buddy Ed. He's off in the distance. Nah, that might be a recording. And I got my brother Bob on guitar as usual.
Hello.
We got a special guest today, too.
All the way from Shay Mountain, Ed Heavey, ladies and gentlemen. Our first real guest who's not a friend or family member.
He's a friend.
Thank you.
Yes.
Well, he is a friend, but I mean, it's like,
Yes.
that is kind of like how we ended up here, right?
I've known your family.
And we were all
generations.
we were all the boys on the block. You know, it was all of us were from the same neighborhood.
At least one generation. So turns out that you actually know my brother Dave.
Yeah.
You guys grew up together. You know my brother Bob,
I know
too.
Bob. I
Yeah.
know Dave. I know Tommy.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I'm like the only one.
I just don't know you.
That's fine. That's what this is going to be about. It's going to be about us getting to know each other. I think that's what's going to be.
Yeah, no,
The whole
I've
Sweeney
known, you guys lived around the corner from my house since I've grown up.
Have you ever... You must have been in the house then, growing up, right?
Nope.
Never went in the
We
Sweeney
weren't
house?
that close.
Oh, okay. That's
No,
good,
no.
though. It's probably for the best.
Yeah.
'Cause
We
you
weren't
guys-
that close. We just knew each other.
That's good. That's cool.
Right.
I mean,
So-
we were always cool. I never had any problems with none of your family.
No, absolutely not.
I don't
No.
think so. Did I?
No,
Yeah,
we never.
we had no.
He never
no,
went in the Sweeney house. That's
That's
why
why-
he's
that's why
made,
there
that's
was
why
no
he's made it.
problem.
That's
Why
why
we
he's
get
on
along?
TV.
Yeah,
And
he
that's
never,
why
he never
we're...
met mom.
Yeah, well, Mom never gave you any shit. She loved to give
No,
people
she
crap.
like, threw a couple of rocks at me and stuff walking
Well,
past
then
the house.
you
but-
did meet her then. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's good.
I
That's
still
good.
walk past the house sometimes, going to take my kids to
Yeah,
school. My
she has-
kids go to
yeah.
PS30. Just
Like, hurry up, Ed.
Yeah.
Probably yelled something at you. So, Ed, one of the things that we do with first-time guests is we give them like a softball kind of like nerd pop culture quiz, and it's really just a thing to break the ice. You know what I mean? So I know I kind of dropped that on you.
Uh-oh.
So
Bring it.
some of it should be. See, that's what I like to hear. That's what I
Right.
like to hear. Like, who gives a shit? I'll roll with it, right?
Yeah.
So, but there's a prize round at the end. So at the very least, there's something for your trouble. All right?
All right.
So let's get this out of the way. The first question is, just finish this sentence. Leave the gun, take the
Cannolis.
cannolis.
There we go.
Cannolis.
One for one.
Certainly you don't sound like a guy from a mountain.
I just watched the epic one of that, the 7-hour long.
You did.
thing.
You clocked in for that, huh?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did.
And what did you learn at the end of that? What was the lesson you might have
The
learned?
lesson I learned is that I would say 2-over-1. That's what I would say.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
I agree.
there's been all these arguments about that over the time. It's one of the great things that people have problems with. Which
Did you
is
sit-
the best? I think 2 was better than 1, and I liked how it was broken up. You know, with the continuity, the way they did it.
Okay.
I thought it was good, but I'm one who likes movie. I wouldn't say I'm a cinephile so much, but I'd like. Dude, you don't need a 1-hour movie, you know?
Right.
I'm cool with it. Oh, it's a 3 hours. We got to sit through it. If it's good shit, man, then it's
Well,
good.
right.
Right.
You know what I
You
mean?
know?
Right.
I got no
If
problems.
something's good, you're gonna get lost in it. So
If
I
you're
get
looking-
it's
upset
not gonna
if it's
matter.
over. You
Yeah,
know?
and
I'm
all-
not like, oh, I got to sit here for 3 whole hours. I'm like, good.
And if you
Right.
find yourself looking at the clock maybe in the middle, maybe it's not that great a thing.
There you
You
go.
know? So
Well, if you're walking in thinking, "Oh, I got to sit here for 3 hours," you automatically you're setting yourself up not to enjoy the movie.
True.
Yeah, like Lord of the Rings, you
Yeah.
know, like
Yeah.
they were long. Give me director's cut. Give me all of them in a
Yeah.
row. I'll
You know what I
sit
mean?
there, you know.
just
Yeah,
don't
we
call
got
me.
pause button. You know, I can, you know,
Yeah.
take
Don't
a
have
little
to-
bathroom wig, you know, go
Really?
10-1, you know.
It ain't like the theater,
We're
man.
cool.
We're home now. Do whatever the hell you want. So the second question, I hear you're a little wrestling fan, maybe? A little bit? No? Yes, no?
Little
A little? I don't know. It was word on the street.
back in the 80s.
So The
maybe?
Rock has 2 finishing moves. Can you name either of them or both of them? The Rock? His old finishing moves?
No.
All right, that's fine. That's
No.
fine. It's fine. Name the People's Elbow and the Rock Bottom.
People's elbow. Actually, now that you say it, I remember that.
Yeah,
Well, that's,
I had the
yeah.
I had the rock
Can
bottom.
you finish this line? If you smell,
What the Rock is cooking.
there you go.
Yeah.
That should have been the question.
That's a number 2,
That I
easy,
could
right?
get.
Yeah.
No, but he was like, if I was a hardcore wrestling fan, I would have known the finishing moves.
Well, that's
I
true.
know, like the diamond cutter and stuff. And
Well, that's the
DDP,
thing.
But
Okay.
yeah,
well, that's the thing with this quiz. It's just like, I know what some of your interests are.
I'm
and it's like just feeling it out.
I'm a fan of Dwayne Johnson. And,
Sure.
You
Me
know,
too.
I
Well,
think the guy's awesome. He's a wonderful person.
can't
Never
deny
met
that
him,
guy.
Yeah,
you
he's
know,
got a
but,
great. He's got a great on-air personality.
Yeah,
Charisma.
and he's
Mhm.
awesome.
Absolutely.
He does a lot of good things for
He's a
people,
busy
and
guy,
I have
too.
a lot of respect for him for where he came from and where he got to.
Sure.
He's incredible. But as far as wrestling goes, I wasn't. I think he was after my time.
Right. Well, that was the kind of thing. So, it's like whose era. Everyone's got like a
Your
different
time,
phase.
your
you
time
know?
is like my time when it was Hulk
Hogan.
Hogan and
Lou Albano.
yeah,
Yeah,
George
the
Yellow
Rock's
Steel.
the Rock's father, Rocky Johnson.
Yeah.
You know
yeah, Superfly
that stuff.
Snooker,
Right,
you know.
Superfly. Now you got his daughter
Macho
wrestling,
Man. Yeah,
or his granddaughter.
You know, but
All right. So let me ask you this one. What do you think was in the briefcase in Pulp Fiction?
I think it was the same thing that was in the briefcase in Repo Man.
Fair enough.
That's
Fair
my
enough.
answer.
That's a good
That's
assessment.
That's a good
a good answer.
And
a
people
great
people right now, and even
That's
me, are thinking, did he actually say what was in Repo Man? But I don't think they did, right? Similar thing they never said? I bet you it was the same shit. Everybody thinks he's original, but maybe
Yeah.
QT's just stealing it all.
No, I don't. Well, I think I go back to Richie Blackmore, man. Steal everything, make it your own.
There
you go.
That's right. Yeah,
You
That's
know?
what everybody does anyway.
But that was my theory about what's in the briefcase.
Sure.
You know.
It's a good one. I never even, in all the stuff I've
you
come
don't
across.
need to know. It's just like, oh.
Well, that's
you
the
know?
thing. You definitely don't need to know. But what's great is that I totally forgot about that till just now. That they did a similar thing in Repo Man.
Yeah.
Cool. That's cool shit. Do you remember Alf, the TV show? Do you remember his favorite food?
No, I remember Alf. I remember I did not watch Alf.
He used to eat cats, which was
I
nice.
do remember that because that was cool. But I wasn't an Alf fan.
Are you a cat guy?
Cats
I
or dogs?
I don't like the way a cat tastes.
No, okay.
I-
No, that's totally fair.
You got to
That's
use
totally fair.
barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
But even then, it's like-
no,
Otherwise, it just still tastes a little stringy.
yeah. No, see, I wouldn't do that really.
That's a music joke in there, guys.
No, well,
Cat gut.
it was
stringy.
corny, so I ignored it. Could you name you play video games? No,
Maybe.
maybe
In the
Well,
past.
In the past.
I'm an old man, man.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. Turning out maybe
Like
all my
what?
info on you is wrong here. You know what I mean? Because I got a question that's like, can you name 3 video games by Blizzard?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
okay.
easy. Yeah,
Okay.
World of Warcraft, Space,
StarCraft.
StarCraft, and oh crap, Diablo.
There you go.
Yeah,
There you go.
There you go.
yeah. I did. I was big time raider in
Okay.
Warcraft. I was mad geek. You have no idea.
All right. That's good.
40-man raids. I'd be yo
Clock some fucking
Yeah.
hours, huh?
That was back in the old time. Blackwing Lair and all that. Oh yeah, I raided.
I did some raids, my friend.
Yeah, 24 hours sitting at the computer. Ma, cheesy poops, ma. Yeah, yeah. How do you kill
Just
that
sitting
which is
there.
not dead? Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, yeah. How do you kill that which has no life? That's the quote, right? Yeah, from.
It's a lot of
South Park.
leveling up, is what that is.
Yeah,
It's a lot of leveling
Yeah,
up.
Kill the boars. Yeah. I
gotta make all this leather. I gotta,
I had my share. I don't really play anymore.
Well, tell me about that game because that
Yeah.
game is about just, like we were saying, just clocking hours.
Time kill.
Oh.
Yeah, that's all. It's a time sink. The whole
Got the
thing.
movie coming out soon though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks interesting. It's gonna
Yeah.
be. It's so heavy CGI.
World of big
but
bucks
We'll see
now.
how it goes. So we're sort of getting into the harder stuff here,
Okay.
supposedly.
Okay.
Depending on what you remember or what you might know. So before being called Luke Skywalker, the character had another name. Do you remember hearing about anything like that?
it's
maybe?
not horror.
Hard.
Oh, hard.
Harder. That's my New York City accent coming through a little bit.
No.
Right.
What was Luke called?
No, before it was Anakin Starkiller.
Oh, Anakin. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Well.
Luke Starkiller.
Well, in one of the early drafts, it's actually supposedly Anakin at one
Oh,
point.
okay.
But I was going to take anything if you said Anakin or Starkiller
right.
at all, because some people
I
might have
would
heard.
have maybe guessed Anakin Jr.
Yeah.
Because
There you go, senior.
But yeah. Oh, Junior.
Um,
Anakin's Luke's dad.
Yeah.
man.
Oh, fair enough. I'm not here today, so if anybody
Yeah,
wants to give
I
me
know
any
some
questions,
stuff.
all
but,
right,
you
no,
know, yeah,
hey, that's
I
cool.
didn't know that what was in the script. 'Cause, you know,
like you weren't there then, you weren't working on that.
no, George didn't call me for that one.
All right, so the last question, the one that kind of is the all or nothing, the one that kind of all the points don't matter anymore. It's win or lose. This gets you to the prize round. Who was the boy in E.T.? E.T.'s little friend. The kid that helped him.
Phone home. When there was an iconic line, if you just
I
remember
hear a
that
phonetic
line.
sound that sounds very
Like
close.
Elliot or something.
Elliot!
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, Elliot. Is it?
Yeah,
Thank
it is.
God. Oh,
Oh, the pressure was a woof.
dude,
Are
it's
we
stressful.
done? You can go home now if you
Yeah.
want, man. I mean, I
Dude,
didn't
I
mean
could,
to.
but I can't stand. My legs are
that's
too
it.
weak from that.
Well, that's
Bobby
right
will
now, that's
carry
a
you
good
out.
thing for you.
Yeah, I was
Bob will carry you out for
a little
old
worried
time's sake.
about that.
At the
So-
moment, though, that's a good thing because there's something coming, right?
Well, he gets to pick now. It's still a choice kind of thing, but I got a red box and a blue box. Each one has a prize for you to take home. I can't fit like anything,
Matrix.
you know. Yeah, exactly. Everybody gets the reference. So I skipped that question anyway to not put you on a point, put you on a spot about anything.
That's
I
a
skipped.
good
I skipped
spot.
the Matrix question.
Matrix.
Can you name a ship from the Matrix?
Which one?
That's a good
The
question.
Logos, or maybe the Nebuchadnezzar?
The Nebuchadnezzar,
Like,
the
come
first
on
one.
now.
Yes, I should have gave it to you. I
Please.
should have let you shine. Fuck, I was trying to be nice and skipped one. I was like, I just don't want to
Yeah.
flounder.
Just
like,
gotta
you know?
be a little more comfortable with the edit button, I think.
Yeah, I might
You
just
know?
cut this
'Cause
whole.
this way you can just cut things out, you know?
this is this whole
Yeah,
first
we-
section
well,
of the
now
show.
we
Okay,
can
let's
just-
go back.
yeah.
The rock bottom
Yeah,
and the people's elbow, obviously.
Obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, who doesn't know
There's
those?
some good fucking editing on this.
Gonna be mixing it around. So you got a choice between these two boxes, man. A red box and a blue box. They're both decent prizes. Usually I give people one shitty prize and one decent prize. But these are all right. These are pretty good.
I'm going for blue.
Gonna go for blue?
Yeah.
99% of people go for blue. You got yourself Los Pollos Hermanos
Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad apron.
Yeah.
So now you can
fucking
decide
sweet.
whether or not to actually ever use it, because that might just make it all messy.
Well, I would just suggest using it with chicken.
There you go. I mean, if you're gonna stay consistent, you just
Use
cook.
this
You
when I
only
cook.
only cook chicken with it.
Yeah. I usually cook naked though. So
Well, there you
Well,
go. Then.
well,
Now
there
you don't
you
got
go.
to worry
This is
about any
good. No,
splashing.
yeah, the splash in oil is rough.
Oh,
That's-
oh,
this would be
bacon's the
good. I
worst.
can cover the pollo. Yeah, good.
Nice.
Very nice.
I hope it
Brother,
fits.
Thank you.
I hope it fits.
Everything fits.
Everything fits.
We'll make it fit.
That's all. Strap something on. We could get some Velcro, make that fit.
Sweet, man.
So that's a little goofy thing we try and do to kind of welcome you in and say, hey, thanks for coming. But I don't know where to really start. I guess maybe we should start at the beginning a little bit. I mean, we did kind of talk about, you know, Brother Dave and all that way back. But unless you have some embarrassing stories about my brother Dave, because he's not here.
No.
All right, then we'll just move.
Except that he's, too good of a plumber to,
Oh, what,
to
work
work
in
for
your,
me.
to do work in your house?
Yeah. He's refused me now.
Oh, he doesn't even.
Like, I'm too good,
All
for
right.
your
He
shit.
doesn't even price himself out. He just doesn't even.
He's
call
just
No,
it
like,
out.
I'm
nah.
like, dude, how much? You name it. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
And
yeah.
he's like, no. I'm like,
Really?
no, really, dude, whatever.
Lie to
No.
him.
No.
Tell me you get him a job on set as a plumber.
But
You got to come over my do mine first.
promises.
I don't think he'd want to be there because
He's got it too good where he's
he's
at.
good.
Right?
He's like he's
Shay,
definitely-
I heard Shay Mountain.
I think he's working in Dubai
Yeah.
or something
Right.
now.
Yeah.
Some chic.
Yeah, he's
I
got it,
don't know what
man.
he's doing.
He can guard the Farrell wine.
Yeah,
No,
Farrell wine. That might convince him to come up there.
There you
Yeah.
go.
I might.
Yeah.
So, so where should we start? Because I was looking over, like your IMDb,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm feeling like, oh, this guy's actually in some stuff that's like,
Mm.
I may not have seen him, but he was fucking in there. I mean, I known he was there. I mean, up until I think Boardwalk Empire.
Okay.
You know what I
Start
mean?
with Boardwalk. Yeah.
I mean, hell, I'll start anyway. But I want to, I lean towards the stuff that I know that I like out of the list
Boardwalk
from
was
your
great
resume.
To work
But
on. I loved it.
They filmed a lot of that out here, right, on Sun Island?
Yeah,
They did.
yeah. Spoiler. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we care? That's,
well, it's
the show's
done.
over.
I
right?
think
Show's
it's
been
been
over
over
for a few years.
a
Yeah.
couple
Well,
of
Well,
weeks.
they
I
did-
died on
well-
Staten Island, out at the Grecky Farm, across
Nice.
from the Correctional Facility.
Okay.
That's where they killed me.
Those bastards.
That was
All right.
horrible. Yeah, dude, you don't know. You don't even know. Okay, so I'm Nucky's bodyguard, nameless Nucky's bodyguard,
Sure.
whatever. They're like, yeah, you're Nucky's bodyguard number 2. I'm
Yes.
like, all right, Nucky's bodyguard number 2. That's cool, So I'm like, yeah, whatever. And a couple of episodes are going along, and like things are nice. And work Steve Buscemi, awesome dude, man. He's incredible, great guy. Mad respect for him. He's good people. And talented, but,
Sure.
obviously.
Yeah.
But
Definitely
so
talented.
I'm sitting there, and we get up to episode 4, and I get Saturday night, midnight. I get the script, and I'm like, yeah, Tunny, who's Tunny? Oh fuck, they gave me a name, Tunny. Nice. I'm fucking dead. What? Motherfucker. Yeah, and
It's like Fight Club. In death, you have a name again.
yeah, pretty much.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
my
right.
name was not Robert Paulson. It was
Right.
Tunny.
That would have been funny. To put that in.
Yeah, I'm Nucky's bodyguard. I'm like, come on, can't you just take my name away and let me live, please?
Just for a week.
Really?
Okay,
I don't have
good.
to speak.
Does anybody call me by my name?
Yeah, no, they do actually after I'm dead.
After you're dead,
Dead
suddenly.
Charlie Cox, Owen, the character, he's like, yeah, the registration's in Tunny's car. I'm like, well, now you're talking about me that I'm dead.
And every
What?
viewer's like, who's Tunny?
Yeah, like,
Probably, right? You're
Nobody like Tunny. Yeah, no one would know. It was just I was the idiot guy.
Well, now you know if you watch Boardwalk
If you were
Empire.
watching this,
Yeah.
you were always wondering, who was
Yeah, the
Tunny?
car was registered in my name. So not
This
only
guy
did
right
I
here.
die for them, but they used me as a scapegoat
Well,
in
that's-
death. It was great.
That's
But
not
no, it was wonderful working on that show. A lot of fun and a lot on Staten Island. They filmed a lot of stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
they
that.
did a lot in Richmond Town, right?
yeah.
They even had a little
Richmond Town,
set, a
the
mini set
diver,
or
I was
something
Tabor
down there.
Heights for season 3. That was on season 3. Tabor Heights was where Bobby Cannavale's character kind of took over. Chip Rossetti. He took that spot over, and that was the problem. He was like blocking all the moonshine from going through. Not the moonshine, the alcohol, whatever.
just
All the bootlegging stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and that was where he had the problem with Nucky's brother and everything. But Tabor Heights, it was still there. The diner, Tabor Heights Diner, and actually Fuzz used that too. Everybody uses that now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's in Richmond Town, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That was a prop
Yeah.
for Boardwalk?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
that was
Mhm.
built for Boardwalk. That was
Wow.
the Tabor Heights Diner. They built that for them.
Very cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I actually was walking through there a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
they shot
noticed it, I
there.
was
They shot up with the Boy Scouts have the camp.
Oh, Pouch Camp.
Pouch
They
Camp.
shot
Pouch
every
Camp.
shot everything.
Yeah,
at Pouch Camp.
there's a
They
lot
shot
of stuff.
Warren-
Pouch Camp is awesome.
It was on Born Identity. Yeah, we did that. There's a big fire scene. They blew up a house and burned the house down, and we had fire trucks going through the woods, and that all got cut. It was great.
Well, you have a photo left. I saw you have a picture.
At
of
least
you
you
in
had
a
the
fireman's
paycheck, right?
uniform.
Yeah,
And
we were
that was
going
proof.
through. This guy Jimmy Hayes, awesome driver. He great stunt guy, he's a mechanic for all the stuff. Turtles, John Wick. He's getting in the fire truck, and he's gonna drive. He's like, we're gonna go through pretty hot. I'm like, okay, and other guys are in there like, fine, dude, you're doing like 60 miles an hour through the woods, like doing a sliding 90, like right at the camera. Like you can't even get a car through these woods.
Right,
And
right,
he's
right.
just like going with a full-size fire truck. Like, it was awesome. They're like, dude, can you go slower? And they're like, why? He's like, the camera couldn't catch it right. He went, like, it was too fast for the camera to pick it up right. Went through, did that, got up, house is burning down, we're all out with the hoses.
Right.
And then in the movie, you'll see there's a house, it starts to burn, and it cuts to them, and they're underneath a bridge hiding, and then you see the truck just drive by on the road. And that was it. I'm like, what happened?
That's great.
Yeah, it was. They did all this stuff.
So your feet got in the shot, maybe.
No,
Not even.
No, not even. It might have been like part of a helmet. I think I was on the other side of the truck. And, yeah, but I mean that's
Your
it.
sleeve.
So many things get cut.
That's the
That's-
way of coming up, though, in a way, right? I mean,
yeah.
Yeah.
getting
Yeah,
a lot
no.
of cut.
Get your
and,
name. Yeah, just keep your name in there.
Yeah, it was fine. I mean, that's the business. You film so much stuff, and then they just cut it.
Well, it's all
you know?
about time and stuff
Yeah,
like that. It ends up
yeah.
being
I
in the
mean,
end.
even if it's a good scene, how much does it progress the script and the storyline? And if we're a minute over, that was pretty funny, but
if it's not,
it's
what's the
not,
value
yeah,
outside
it's not
of
pertinent.
that?
Yeah. So a lot of things get cut. And it's funny how much money is spent on that. That's the thing that gets me.
Yeah,
I'm
if
like,
you did
dude,
the math on the back
that
end
whole
like that.
2 days of shooting, we shot there, we shot upstate to finish it too, and those whole 2 days was totally cut from the film.
Could have been a
couple
few
hundred
$100,000.
grand.
Yeah, I was just
Wow.
gonna say a couple $100,000,
Yeah,
$250,000.
$1,000, just
Yeah, just on the
In
cutting
the
room floor.
end,
Yeah.
just
Yeah, I mean, I got paid, so I'm cool.
Yeah, exactly.
But,
At least you have the proof in the paycheck, right?
yeah.
Keep the stub.
That's more important to me.
Well, in the end.
I don't need credit,
Well,
man. I have fun
No,
playing.
you're getting there
you
though.
know?
You're getting there.
Yeah,
now.
it's
You're
awesome.
starting to get this. You're starting to get speaking lines. You got a
Oh, no,
steady
it's
gig now with
great.
this show, right?
Yeah, no, things are good. You know, things are good. I can't complain.
I keep
you
waiting
know?
for your character to kind of like turn. Like,
Turn.
dude, that was like a little too messed up, and I'm not doing that no
You
more.
mean turn on
Oh,
Big?
yeah, and just hang.
How
And,
could you even think that? Big's my boy, man. I'll cut you just for saying that.
really?
Dude, we're
Yeah, I
tight.
have this feeling that
Well, maybe I
you've
should,
made some
I'm
real
just-
friends up there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's funny because
Well, Dave Morse is an awesome actor.
an awesome person and awesome actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's incredible. The cast on there is all him. David is amazing. You know, he really is. He's a sweet guy. Really, really intense. He's
Yeah.
great. Ryan Hurst is another one. The sweetest guy you'll ever meet.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun up there. Yeah, the dynamics of the whole thing. I mean, did you want to talk about the show a little bit?
I was thinking maybe, at some point,
Yeah.
we'd probably do that too.
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, that's fine if you have.
I've heard of this show
Yeah.
So just to clarify, it's
Yeah, I've-
Outsiders
on WGN America.
WGN America.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
Outsiders
you
on-
guys just got renewed for a
Yeah.
second season.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Congrats,
we
man.
just got picked up
Awesome.
yesterday for
Awesome
a second
news.
season. The numbers have been
Yeah.
great. Thank you to everybody who's been watching.
Yeah.
It's great that people like it. You know.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
digging it.
look,
Man. I
looks
love
like this network is going to make a play to join the big boys in the cable because they're buying up more properties
Yeah.
for next season.
That's what they're doing.
So-
They have
so
a new,
hopefully-
a new pilot, Slice. It's a DC comic that
Okay.
they're doing.
Okay. Oh,
yeah.
Scalp.
Oh, Scout.
Scalp.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's what I
Scalp.
say.
Slice. It's all right. It's,
Yeah,
it's close
yeah,
enough.
It's all right. You're not,
And then
Thank
they-
God
you
that
know.
wasn't on the quiz. But yes, but Scalp is going to be coming out. They have a pilot for that too. So
Yeah,
that
they
should
just
be
signed up
good.
to-
Yeah.
Yeah, I
You
saw
know.
that happened this week as well.
And then,
Yeah, so maybe you
yeah.
guys could end up being an anchor for a night for them or something like that, which would end up being awesome for you guys.
Yeah.
You know, nice
Yeah.
steady gig for a while.
And Underground
Yeah,
started this
Underground
week.
just
Yeah, I was
started
going to say
week
this
too.
past Wednesday.
Came in
yeah.
from pretty good numbers. I
Yeah,
understand.
it had better premiere numbers than we did, which was good.
I didn't want to point fingers.
No.
You know what I mean? I didn't want to start a war, buddy.
No, that's cool, man. That's cool. You know, it's good for the network. I'm fine with that.
No,
you know?
absolutely. It's 'cause it's all good.
As
Yeah.
long as the network's doing good, he's doing good.
Yeah,
That's
their
true.
numbers were
That's true.
fine. You know, so yeah, it's a good show. I like it. You
Yeah,
know, Chris,
I like it
I
too.
like because I know Chris Chalk. He's on it. I know him from over on Gotham.
Okay.
He plays Lucius Fox on Gotham.
Right.
Oh,
Okay.
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 Yeah, and he's in that too. So
right.
I'm happy.
There was a
for
lot
him.
of familiar faces in that
Yeah,
show.
yeah. No, it looks like it's going to be good. Yeah, WGN's doing it. They're doing basically what AMC did 10
Yeah,
years
it looks
ago,
like they're
you
trying
know?
to find good shows
You
with a good
know?
edge.
And look what came out of that. You had Mad Men and Breaking Bad and Walking Dead
Yeah.
and all of that.
Yeah.
And hopefully our show is going to be
Yeah,
along
the
those
catalyst
same
for that
lines.
too. Yeah.
Sure, that would
Yeah.
be awesome.
You
It's
know?
about finding unique angles for
I
story
mean,
setups too, though. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing else on TV. You could say a criminal element kind of thing, sure, but I don't because for Outsiders, I don't think there's anything to kind of really, as far as the setup goes.
There's nothing.
No.
There's
No,
been nothing
There's
kind of like
not.
It's a pretty
similar in
original
any
People
story.
way.
compare it to like Sons, Sons of Anarchy, and
It-
fill your hole in your heart with that. Yeah, I could see that because
they
you
actually
know, we're
say that on
badass,
the-
you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's,
You know, we got the badass long-haired guys, you know. And
Yeah,
that's-
it is
right,
kinda like
there-
that.
right, that kind
but
of.
that's
thing.
not really our thing. And also, you could say that with that and with like Game of Thrones too, the family thing, the clan thing.
Sure,
you know?
absolutely.
I mean, you have your MC from that, and you have all the families in Game.
Mhm.
You know, and then people compare it to Justified. You know, because you have the Kentucky, moonshiners
Right,
there.
right.
But it's not. It's
Still,
its own
even
story.
despite all of that, it's
Yeah.
still its own
It's
thing.
We're
Yeah,
just
it's
a
definitely
family
something.
that's been up in the mountains for the last couple of 100 years. You know, we came over, Irish Celtic settlers, we went off and our families came there. There's 3 families that live up on the mountain. It's Shay Mountain, and the 3 families are the Farrells, the Shays, and the McGintucks.
Okay.
That's the 3 clans that live up there. We're called the Farrell clan by town folk and
Sure.
probably most people in TV land, that are out there watching us.
Right.
But there's 3 major clans that are up there, and it depends about the dynamic. Like going back to the Game of Thrones thing, how
Right.
things change. It's a wheel,
Right,
who's in
right,
power,
right.
who's not.
Right.
The Farrells are basically the ruling clan up there, even though it is Shay Mountain. Like, go figure on that. What does that mean?
Right.
Yeah.
My character's name
Yeah,
is
maybe
Braden
the-
Shay.
Right.
I'm the only Shay that's really been established so far.
Right,
You know,
right.
I basically am Big Foster, who's David Moss.
Mhm.
He's going to be our Brennan, our leader.
Right.
I'm his right hand man.
Right.
Basically, I'm in a poor light, you could say I'm the Sheriff of Nottingham to his King John, you know.
Right. Well, yeah. If you
But,
have to
yeah.
make, yeah, sure.
Yeah, and you know, the stories basically we're up there living our life off the grid, hanging out. We have little modern technology, like we have one generator that runs some lights for parties. We have our
Right.
ATVs and our off-road vehicles, but basically, you know,
It's gotta suck to get parts for those, though. Like
Yeah.
when those guys come into your parts
no,
store.
that's when we
When they come
Well,
on,
that's why they just come down the mountain. They
That's
just
why we
grab
go
it and
on
they
the
go.
run.
They go.
Yeah,
But I'm in
They're
that
just-
business. I
and
know
if
it's not
they're
that
not-
easy.
they're
I know
not-
you can't just walk in and I need a nut
Yeah, but
for, you know, the
But they're not
wheel on
gonna-
this, and it's like, well,
but
here
they're
you
not
go.
going to steal that. They're just going to go and get a new ATV.
That's probably
we
better
don't-
than that.
We
Yeah.
don't steal anything. We
no,
just
that's just
acquire
you
what
acquire
we
what they need.
You
just
know,
ended
and
up
fair
down here.
trade, fair trade. Like even in that
Right,
store,
the mountain provides, right?
gave that nice, wonderful sculpture to the girl
Yeah.
at the counter.
You know, the townspeople are not really taking
That
that
would be-
value equally. They're
Right,
not really
we
seeing the
don't-
value
we don't
in
deal with
crafts.
Money. We have no money, no currency. We don't know how to read and write.
Right,
you know?
right, no.
It's a different world up there. And just picture living up on a mountain. You
Yeah,
know,
there's some
your whole
stu-
life. You don't come down. We don't go to a movies. They even made
Right.
mention about it. Maybe you went to go see a movie.
Yeah,
That was sarcastic. That was big.
We don't
You
do
mock
that.
it. Like, you know,
Yeah.
they mock all those modern
Yeah,
things.
our society's supposed to be like kind of like a hippie commune in a way.
Yeah, yeah.
Obviously, it's a little more violent, you know, and some of us may have lost our way, according to some people say, but we're all about family still. Like Big, in some respects, is the antagonist, you know.
Right.
He's a little crazy, but he was supposed to be made king after his father passed. And
Right.
when he came of age, his mother is still in charge, and he has all this power and nothing to do with it, so he's festering, you
Yeah,
know.
he's been waiting.
It's a rough thing, so it might have, maybe some people say, corrupted him a little bit, turned him a little bit, you know.
That was a
It's not-
great scene last week when he was like, "Bow to your king."
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that. That
That's
was a great
it.
scene, man.
That's it.
Give me chills.
Kneel for your king.
So one of the things
Yeah.
that me and Bob were talking about every time is knowing you and watching you and slowly, I don't know about, like Bob said, you know, waiting for you to turn, but I always kind of feel like some point this guy's going to fall into something, some kind of side storyline, or something's going to like drag you in a little bit more. Maybe we won't get it this season necessarily, but I feel like
Your character, your name in the credits. Your name comes up a little bit close to the main characters. So, but yet you're only having one or two lines an episode so far. So that kind of leads us to believe that there's going to be something else that's going to happen down the road. That there's something going on down in, you know, not that we're asking you if you know anything to give it up, but
Braden is an integral part of the clan in a lot of respects. I mean, Brian and David are big guys, and there's
Yeah.
other people, but I'm basically an enforcer.
Right.
You know, and I also do scouting and stuff. Like that's why I know where the gun shops are.
Right.
Right.
You know, most of us don't go off the mountain at all. I do. Braden's a little. He's kind of like the strong, silent type in a way too.
But that's the way that's the way I take it too.
It
is
is
that like
you know,
he
don't
is
say
kind
stuff
of
unless he has stuff to say. You know?
yeah. He's definitely kind of a when spoken to kind of guy, or
Yeah, there's a kind of there was a scene where me and another cousin Enoch, JJ Condon, we go down because we go jealous of Big and Asa hanging out on the construction set, so we want to go have some fun ourselves. And there's a line in that where it pretty much sums up what Braden is kind of about, because he's like, yeah, I want to really smash and bang stuff. I want to do that. I'm like, yeah, cousin, you said that. You said it 100 times. Shut the fuck up, okay? I got this.
Right.
You know, you don't have to keep repeating it. I know you're excited. You're gonna go wet your pants. That's great. But shh, you know, we don't need to talk.
right. He's not one for conversation.
No,
as much.
he's not.
no, let's just
Yeah.
get it done.
Yeah,
right?
that's pretty much his role. But he does say things here and there, and you know, hopefully, you know, there'll be further to explore with his story.
Well, I feel like that's
we
the
have
case.
a whole other clan.
Well, that's my point. Is
Right.
that, you know, feeding into what we were thinking about initially with that, is that now knowing that, like, you know, like you said, you know what I mean, like you're the only Shay established.
Right.
You know, at the very least, there's more history there, even if it's not like, you know, something crazy up front right away.
Yeah.
There's definitely, I feel like there's more, like you said, because it's also too, like the other families, like I feel like doesn't get as much mention.
Yeah,
You know?
basically, it's about the Farrells and McGintoks now.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they're basically the leading clan. The Shays are kind of like, so far it's been established, like we're like the soldiers.
Okay.
You know, and we do that, and McGintoks are more like, even though Gwen, Jillian Lexi, she's Farrell, she's the healer, but the McGintoks are more like that type. You know,
Yeah, right.
they do the more domestic stuff.
Okay.
You know, and I'm the more violent type, and the Farrells are kind of the leader clan. That's the way it's established at this moment. But
Right,
there's a flux and
Well, that's
dynamic
what
of
it
how
seems.
it's going to turn.
Yeah.
And
definitely-
there's a lot that hasn't been explored. You know, like people are still finding out. You know what we're doing. Why are they afraid of us so much? We're just hillbilly people, right?
Right.
Or are we?
Right. Well,
You
that was
know?
the thing too, and as slowly as, and even with the townspeople, and getting to know, not just through the guys on the mountain, but through the townspeople, like why
Yeah,
they
well,
actually.
with the sheriff, like recently found out about his dad that got killed, right?
Right. Well,
So-
that it got mentioned finally, incomplete to the viewer,
Right.
exactly what that history kind of is, and how this, one guy got hit with a bolt of lightning, and the whole town's just been kind of like weirded out,
Yeah.
like
Right.
officially
It's
weirded
Yeah, I
out.
feel like there's like a
Right.
magical aspect to
And
it,
that
to
happened the day
to-
after the Shay Mountain Rebellion,
Right.
which that's some backstory that people don't know. That's what the old coal company came up, and there was a shootout, and that's where Foster Farrell V,
Right.
who's Big Foster's dad, he got killed. He got shot
In a
you know,
standoff with Wade's dad.
pretty much.
Right.
And then Wade's dad got struck by lightning in a clear blue sky the next day.
Right.
And also then the mines blew up, and Wade's brother was in there, and he's dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of coincidental,
Right.
Is it?
But I liked
You
how they're
know?
doing a slow
Yeah.
clarification and
Right.
reveal on these elements where it
Yeah,
doesn't
there-
feel like
there may be more than people know about us, and like our Farrell wine, you all been drunk, right?
yeah.
You don't get
Yeah.
as crazy as that kid did.
Let me ask
Yeah.
you
That
something.
kid saw the devil.
It ain't no regular moonshine.
No.
Yeah, no,
No.
no.
Is
it's
Is
not.
is that something that gets clarified? That like there's
Farrell
there's
wine
something.
is a special thing.
Okay.
That's what's a special brew. Yeah, it's.
Okay.
So
So
I mean, we
so
drink
maybe
it,
that whole aspect
but,
of
Sure.
we're
It's doing you fine.
Yeah, maybe there's more to it. I don't know. I mean, it could give us longevity. It could give us power. It's a secret snake brew. Ooh,
could have LSD in it.
Yeah,
You never
yeah.
know.
Ah, it's just
because
mushrooms.
we're like
Yeah, right.
the Native American cultures, they were up in the mountains too, and the part of us are based out. Like we have a whole language that they worked out for
Right.
us. The old tongue, which we speak in like Gedya.
Right,
Right.
right.
Gedya means like hell yeah. Let's
Right.
It's
That's kind of like forget about it.
yeah.
Well, in the fact that
In
it's
a-
like
in a
all
way.
around, like
Right.
it means multiple
Yeah.
things.
Right.
Yeah, that's a
but
great
that-
aspect to the show.
But that's that we have a whole language based on that. And our culture is based on like Celts and also Native Americans, because they all came from there. And you have shamanism and things like that. That's why we had the tats and the bones and feathers in the hair.
Right.
There's meaning behind all of that. It's not just because it looks really fucking cool.
Right. But it's
Although
all
it might.
picking right from. Well, it's what kind of it's a natural extension of,
But
of
there's a
these
whole
people living up
backstory
in
to
there.
it. Yeah, and it's, why are they so afraid of us, and how can we survive so easily up there like that, and how do we traverse the mountains so easily, and like there's lots of things, like that little girl who's always there. Who's she?
Yeah.
You
Right.
know, that's Philia, right? Why is Philia always watching stuff? Who is she?
Right. She's
You
just some
know.
little eye in the bushes, but
Yeah, is there something more, or maybe not?
Right.
I don't know.
I like that they play with that
But,
though. I like
yeah.
that they don't hit you with too much of any one thing, which is nice in a way, because sometimes shows kind of like talk to you too much or tell you too much. Don't let you suss it out on your own, or give you enough breathing room to kind of like, oh, maybe it is,
Right.
or maybe it isn't. Sometimes shows just kind of want to like
Right.
give
They
it to
just-
you.
they
They want to
just
hand it to
kinda-
you like flat and,
Yeah,
it is exactly
it's nice
this.
when you can just discover things.
Right.
Right, because then it feels like characters are behaving naturally or they're talking naturally. It's not like exposition and we have to do X, Y, Z because,
Right.
Yeah.
You're not feeling those moments, those made up moments.
Yeah, I find that. Thank you for that. I feel personally that makes it for better television.
No,
you know,
absolutely.
that makes it one of the more premier shows.
Right.
that's what's compelling.
Yeah,
Because
it's
you
not-
lean in and you're trying to put it together
The
yourself.
audience is not stupid. It doesn't need to be fed everything. Sometimes, maybe. I mean, my character basically does that. I'm the one who says, we're going to go down down Route 22 and rob the gun store.
Well, fair enough. You know what I mean?
You know,
But up until that
you need
moment,
some
no
of
one.
that. But you
Yeah.
don't need to keep repeating that. The
Yeah.
audience can figure things out on their own.
Right.
You can have things implied, and people are like, "Oh yeah."
Yeah.
And even if they don't figure it out, you can still guess. And I think that adds to
Absolutely.
a good storytelling.
Yeah,
you
I think
know?
that's the thing. That's how you get people to lean in. It's how you get them
Yeah.
to pay attention, keep their brains turned on.
Yeah, you look at
Yeah.
fan sites and people are guessing, or like you're saying. So yeah, I know there's gonna be a side story about that because this character's doing stuff, and but
Right.
you don't know. Who knows?
Or
Maybe I
when-
die next episode. I
Right.
mean,
Or if it
Yeah,
does
that's
come
true.
back, when?
but yeah, but
That's true. Yeah,
yeah, but-
it could be that whatever plan they have in creating the show for your particular character gets changed halfway through writing the first season.
Which happens a lot with shows,
yeah,
So
yeah,
anything that might lead
it's
someone to
possible.
believe what
could've got
my
shot in
idea.
the leg originally, and
Right.
they changed that. I mean, things like that happen. Yeah, throughout it, depending on how the flow of the show's going. So it's good, I think, for the audience not to know. 'Cause if you know,
absolutely.
then why do you want to even watch?
And plus, you know what, nowadays, too, one of the things
Exactly.
I realized, I was talking to somebody about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and I feel like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I don't know if you watch it or not, but it's
Yes.
definitely a thin kind of show. But the point being that they are a show that, and a lot of shows do it, but as soon as we come back from like a 6-episode break, or just if the story's too dense, we have to have somebody tell the audience what it is.
Spoon feed it.
But meanwhile, I just sat through a 2-minute previously on segment.
Yeah.
So what are you're telling me everything I just saw? You're wasting time, actually, on a 42-minute show.
And if you really
You know?
want to know, you can rewatch the other episode
Yeah.
or something. Yeah.
Make it a little mystery. Give me a reason to go back and watch if I miss something.
If it's compelling enough, you're gonna remember it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or you're going to seek it out one way or the
yeah,
other.
you shouldn't have to do that. I don't think.
No.
You know.
Good television. I think that's the defining line with good television is that
The
you'll find
audience
that.
is intelligent, man.
Yeah.
People aren't as stupid as
Yeah,
I
and
guess
Well,
some
that's-
people think.
It's always good
That's what it's
to.
always been. Yeah.
At least I like. I mean, our audience probably half hillbillies, but hillbillies don't mean you're dumb.
That's
know?
true. No, yeah. An
You know,
accent don't mean nothing.
That's part of it too, and that's a lot about with our show. It's not just about that. It's about the whole dynamic in the world. Like, who is an outsider,
Right.
right?
Right.
Ace is an outsider because he left us.
Right.
He comes back. They're all outsiders in the town. They're not part of us. But
Wade's an outsider.
he's an outsider in his own town.
Yeah.
Right? And Hassel's an outsider in our clan because he just feels differently. And
Yeah.
we're the outsiders for regular society. So
Right.
what is an outsider? We're all outsiders
Right.
in some respect. And there's a lot of things that are, deeper like that, which is why I love being on the show. It's just a lot of things that are interesting, and it makes you think.
Right.
Right.
And there's layers, and
Yeah.
that gives you something to come back for too. Because when you watch a show first time, you don't catch everything. You end up focusing on certain aspects.
Mm-hmm.
So once you know those aspects, you go back and watch again. Then you have a new vision, a new sense of what's available to you to see, and you pick and find different things.
Yeah, definitely.
So now, did you actually get your start in stunt work, or have you just done a little bit?
I just done a little bit.
Oh, okay.
I mean, kind of. I don't know. I've been a performer my whole life.
Right.
So, I mean, back in PS30, I was in a play, Scaramouche, man. I played the evil Duke.
And that was it? And I was at that flip the switch a little
no,
bit?
Then I went off and I was a parent and I joined the Army and came out of that as a respiratory therapist, ran a medical company. I've done a lot of things, but I also always played in the band too. So I've been, performing and, stunt work is actually, I think it's a harder field to get into than acting.
Really?
A lot of it happened for me with the stunts just because of my military training. Stunts are hard, and stuntmen, I give them so much credit. The training that they do is intense. I mean, it's not like, oh, I want to be a stuntman.
Right.
I'm going to go fall off my roof.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
like how
these
do you,
guys are like gold medal Olympic gymnasts, you
Right,
know? I mean, they're hardcore skill. I'm
they're bringing
amazed.
more to the table than just
Yeah.
pratfalls.
Like, I do stunts, but, I don't do high falls. That's not what I do. I move tactical. I'm good with weapons. I can do fights, and I drive, and I ride a motorcycle. So,
Sure.
There's things that I can do, and I specialize in, and that's what I do. But I'm not like super kung fu master,
Right.
I'm not a tricker,
Right.
People do 720 spin kicks. I'm like, I'm just like Chris Brewster from Daredevil.
Right.
He doubles
Okay.
Charlie Cox.
Sure.
Guy's insane. You know, he's so good. You know, this other guy, Evan Taylor, I know. You know, and they're just amazingly talented people. And that's, to get into that, I'm blessed and lucky to work and be allowed to work in that respect. On Outsiders, I am both. I'm a stunt actor, actually. I do my own stunts.
Fair enough.
You know,
Sure.
You know, and I'm lucky that way, because a lot of times stunt guys aren't afforded the opportunity to act because, oh, you do stunts, you can't act.
Right.
You know, and actors are like, no, you can't do a stunt. You're an actor.
Right.
You know, luckily I can. I'm capable.
Yeah.
I have both skill sets, and I train constantly. You know, and both acting and you know, physically. It's a lot of work, but yeah. So the stunts actually have advanced my acting career. I'll put it that way.
It's another thing on the resume. They always say that, right? With the acting
yeah,
resume,
it got me in.
More
Like,
skills,
hey,
the better.
okay, well,
Keeps you on
when
the
you die,
camera.
say a couple of words. I'm like, yeah, I'm great with dialogue, and you know, it worked out. Well, you can do dialogue and hang off the side of a truck doing 50 miles an hour shooting a gun. I'm like, yo.
Sign me up.
Let's do it.
Let's try it.
You know.
Sounds like fun.
So you mentioned Daredevil. You actually did some work on both seasons for Daredevil?
Yes. I did stunt work on that and stunt actor in the second season coming up, which will be out on March 18th.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right around the corner. man.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
really excited to see it. I love that show. I love
Yeah,
that was
we're,
something
we're,
special.
we're gonna binge
too.
that one.
Yeah, Jessica Jones. I couldn't. I had a conflict, so I was supposed to be in that one. I wished. I loved it. Especially, I worked one.
It's an interesting show.
Yeah, Rosemary Rodriguez. She did not a 10,000 Cuts, that episode of Jessica Jones.
Yes.
Favorite. It's amazing how she pulled out of the actors more visceral stuff than all the carnage that actually physically went on in that show. It was a great episode.
There was a lot of that.
I love
going on in the
Rosemary.
show.
She did 2 of our episodes
Okay.
on Outsiders. But yeah, Daredevil in the first season, nondescript thug who gets shot and killed.
All right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Hey, it's a gig.
Well,
And-
there was
and-
some phenomenal fight scenes in that season.
Phil
Daredevil.
Silvera is the coordinator, and you know, they're really good. I mean, that goes back to like the big one, that 2-minute hallway scene is reminiscent of
that's-
Old Boy.
Yeah.
You guys know
Yeah.
Old Boy, you know,
Yeah.
the original Old Boy, you know, just beating people with a hammer.
Yeah.
And that's
And
it.
you know, you
It's
do
just
it, and you
nonstop.
realize how tired you get. You know, that was the biggest part. At the end of the fight, it's just like, dude, I can't even lift my arm to hit you.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's the
Yeah.
reality of it.
Yeah.
though. But that's what's,
Yeah.
you know,
That's what's, you know, the fantastical stunts are great, but the realistic ones are.
or the ones that you remember.
Yeah, it's
man.
like, dude, these guys are really badass, and
Yeah.
they're really exhausted.
Right.
And this is what happens at the end of a fight.
It's
You know,
also-
Daredevil gets hurt. He's a
Right.
person, and they projected that beautifully.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That was-
so yeah, and then the next one, I have the episode I'm in. I can't really give it away.
Fair enough.
But
Yeah.
it's I mean, everyone knows the Punisher's in it, and I do something with him. So
All right.
it's
All right,
pretty
that's
good,
cool.
Be
you
on the
know.
lookout for that.
Yeah, be on
Absolutely.
the lookout for that. Yeah, he's pretty badass.
Do you have an
So-
idea of maybe what episode that would be?
9.
Okay,
So
so
I'm at episode 9.
okay.
You're making me wait for you?
no, that's
You can skip ahead.
I-
All right.
you know, we're
Sure,
building to the
sure.
climax of the season
Right,
too,
right,
so
right.
that-
So
so that's
Yeah,
must
probably
be
a good
something
point.
important.
Yeah.
That's, we'll
Yeah.
leave it
So
at
it's
that,
just-
but that's good.
It's not much for me, but it was a fun scene. It was good. You know, it wasn't about me. I'll put it that
Right,
way.
right, right.
Okay.
But, it definitely portrays Frank Castle in a true light.
So
Okay.
now there's a thing we can bring up real quick, a little bit more back to you instead of just to work. But are you a comic guy? Are you a comic book guy?
Am I a comic book guy?
Well, are you a fan or reader at all? I mean,
Yeah.
because we have a mutual friend through Comic Book Jones. You know what I mean?
Who?
The comic book shop. There's a guy.
I don't.
You don't know,
comic book?
Comic Book Jones, Jones.
Smells like feet.
Dude,
He might pronounce it,
Sokka,
yo.
Tiger, fucking baby
Yeah,
face.
yeah.
Fuck, I love them all.
That was going to be a quiz, a question on the quiz
yes,
too.
I'm
was,
big. Like Alan Moore
can you name-
is probably my favorite
Okay, cool.
of all comics. I mean, I just read his little thing on writing comic books. Like I'm
Okay.
into him. His little Necronomicon shorts.
Right.
You know, of course, you know Watchmen, and
Yeah.
the only true graphic novel, in my opinion, is From Hell.
All right.
Because it's a fucking novel, you
Yes,
know.
right.
And like, I don't like the term graphic novel. It's a comic, you know. It's a
Right.
comic book.
Right.
It's no disrespect. Comics are
Right.
great, you know. They
Yeah.
are. They're a medium of artwork, and most movies that are out there today, what are they? Like, to say, you know, Wanted or
Right.
300.
Yeah.
Where'd they come from? What were they?
Yeah, the comics.
Fucking comics, yo. You know. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
A lot of
Frank
TV
Miller,
shows.
another one who's really in, where they got a lot of the. Like Daredevil, where
Yeah,
you
where
know,
all the,
the
a lot of the,
feel,
yeah,
you know,
Yeah.
a lot of
the
the
whole
grittiness,
grittiness, yeah.
and then even a lot of that storyline.
Yeah,
stuff.
no, I'm big into comics. You know, Neil
Okay.
Gaiman, who his American Gods,
Gods is getting
coming
made
out.
now finally.
Yeah,
Right.
Cool.
yeah. That
That's,
was going to be in
Showtime.
Pittsburgh too, but they didn't have their budget done yet, so they had to move. Which was, I was like, oh, man, I'm going to be in Pittsburgh too. I mean,
I'm gonna work something out with that.
I would have loved to do that. Yeah,
that's
Neil
cool.
Gaiman's awesome too.
So you were in Dark Knight a little bit too, right?
Oh yeah, that was just basically background. You know,
Okay.
I was upgraded background. It was in the big giant scene, the big fight scene where the cops have the standoff
Okay.
with the
on the city hall steps, kind
yeah,
Right,
yeah,
right.
yeah, and you just have
These are
big
just dozens
fight.
of guys. Fighting.
Yeah. I was actually got bumped in that one to actually fight. So when
Cool.
Bane and Bats are fighting, which is funny because that was filmed. Half that scene was filmed in Pittsburgh, and half was filmed on Wall Street.
Oh, okay.
That whole big fight was in two separate places.
That's
and
interesting.
They edited it
Yeah,
together. Yeah, but I was like up there fighting with them.
Right,
so
that's cool.
Yeah, but that was it. Though. Nothing special. But it was. That's what started getting me more involved, and you got to start somewhere.
Right, absolutely.
So, and it was a great set to be on.
Yeah, no, how was like Tom Hardy and
Tom Hardy, I didn't get to speak to.
Oh, no?
Christian Bale was pretty cool. He was just
Cool
like,
dude.
dude, you guys have been out here for 12 hours. That's fucking nuts. Because he gets to come out. He's all suited up.
Right,
He doesn't
right.
have to stay out there as long. And, we've been on set for 12 hours before he comes out for his part of the fight scene. And he's just like, really?
And that was winter time, right? When you shot it, or no? 'Cause I
nah,
know it's supposed to be a
was like-
wintry
it
scene,
was
but
like
I don't know if it was
fallish.
actually winter.
Yeah, no, it was all fake snow.
Sure. I figured that much, but I
Yeah.
mean, it wasn't really cold.
Yeah, it was chilly.
It was chill.
It was chilly.
chilly.
Matthew Modine is awesome.
Okay, you got
Because
to.
I was running up with him, and they were lighting off some pyro, and it was like right in our faces, and we were
Jeez.
both like choking out. It was like,
Yeah.
Just fucking so, it was really bad, and he's a pretty funny, cool dude.
That's cool.
Yeah, so no, I can't really complain. Anyone I've ever worked with is bad. Everyone's pretty.
That's good.
Yeah. I think good things go to good people, and that's why they get what they're getting.
It's
And
true.
I've been blessed. I really have. I've worked with wonderful people, talented people, and it's just fun, man. You get paid. I mean, it's a lot of work. Don't get me wrong. It's a job.
Yeah.
It is. And say outsiders. I was in Pittsburgh for 5 months. I didn't get to see my kids for 5 months.
Mm-hmm.
They came out for 1 week, and that week I was on set for 14 hours a day.
Right.
So I mean,
And you're going away again soon. Right?
Yeah, God willing.
Well, that too, but I mean, for other work, I would think you got other
Yeah.
things lined up.
This season wrapped filming already?
Yeah, we finished in October.
Oh, wow.
And,
Okay.
and we just got picked up. We should start filming back up maybe in May.
Okay, cool.
I have a couple other projects that I should be doing. I'll be involved with. I'm not supposed to talk too much about them yet, but there's a horror flick. It's being billed as like the Expendables of the horror genre, so
Okay.
we won't go there. But that's,
Okay, you
And,
can imagine.
Yeah, yeah, and I play like a serial killer in that. So I'm filming that down in Pennsylvania, by
Sounds like
Philly.
fun.
And then in Atlanta, I might be involved in another project with Fuzz on the Lens guys. They're going
Okay.
down there, but that hopefully will work out. And so a couple of weeks of filming here and there, But it's all good, and I get to go play. It is. It's like you have to learn your lines. You have to learn.
You have to-
rhythms.
you have
I
to bring it
learn
with the time.
Accents. You
Yeah.
have to. There's a lot. I sit there and read all the time scripts. I watch TV and I have to watch how they do their shots. You have to stand a certain way depending on how the camera is. And then the
Position.
cameras move, and then there's 3 cameras. So then you have 30 seconds for me to cross this table to get to you,
Right.
and I'm supposed to be going at full speed.
Right. And still be cognizant of leaving
So
a certain amount of
how
view
am I
open.
going to go across this table and jump at you and take
Right.
30 seconds to do it?
Right. Yeah.
While 3 cameras are watching, so I can't go out of frame because I'll be out of frame with one camera and the other camera's still watching me. It's a very complicated process. I mean, it seems like it's easy, but it's. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love it. I'm blessed.
Sure.
It's fucking amazing to do this for a living,
Right.
But
But there are challenges people just don't probably consider.
it's
They
just
wouldn't
so
think
much involved in it,
Yeah.
and every person on set is involved. I mean, the cameraman, the camera assistant. You have
Yeah,
your
there's-
grips who move everything,
of
and
the sound guys.
yeah, the sound guys extremely important. You
know,
know,
yeah.
It's and there's a lot involved in it, and yeah, it is fun. I do love it, but running up and down a mountain all day,
Yeah, so what's
it gets tiring. It's hard, and especially for the crew. Fuck the actors.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, it
The
must be
crew's
kind
gotta
of like,
push all that equipment.
must be
It's-
kind of rough on a lot of you guys up there. Like, the
Yeah.
outdoors. element compared to
poison oak
some
and
safe
bugs and heat and it can be tough. I mean, look at Leonardo, what he just did, for his role in it. Dude, you're up. It's cold out there.
Yeah, you're
in
in the elements.
winter.
People think it's all cushy and shit, but it's
brutal.
really not.
Dude, when I did Boardwalk, we filmed Boardwalk. It was in July, August, and now I have the old wool suit on, right?
Oh,
thick, heavy wool, with the vest, with the 20-pound overcoat,
right?
And it's supposed to be in January, and I'm dripping sweat. I'm like, I'm not allowed to sweat.
Right,
How do I not sweat?
Yeah, the makeup girl comes over to dab you off, and she's like, "You gotta stop sweating. You gotta stop sweating."
Yeah, I mean, it gets hot. Same thing with Outsiders. We're up on the mountain, and there's a fight scene, and I'm holding back 3 guys that weigh 250 pounds each, and it's
and doing it over and over
out.
and over.
Yeah, it takes 7, and the sun's beating down. There's no cover, and I'm wearing 3 layers. If you notice the show, look at my wardrobe, which is wonderful. The wardrobe
I don't
people
get.
do great
They
work.
do amazing stuff, but it's all layered.
Dude,
I'm
I
like
have
sometimes
4 layers of thermals with a black leather vest on in the sun.
Yeah,
it gets rough. You get tired. And like I said, after the 10th take, it's just like
we don't have it at all.
I was on the following, and I got tasered on that, right? And I had a fall. It was pretty simple. It was a nice, easy fall. But after 20 takes, you get whiplash.
Yeah.
Your neck
It just starts to go.
Yeah, it's work.
It's only so much a beating you can take.
I mean, like I said, I'm blessed and I love it, and I'm happy as shit. But it's not always easy.
Yeah. No. It's more involved than just doing it again and again until you get it right. Because once you get it right, you have to get it right at every angle. You got to try saying things a different way, this and that. So it becomes.
It's not just one and done.
Yeah.
For,
and then
all specificity.
By the time you've done it for the 40th time, I'm sure it's
right
like,
here.
how come you can't say it like you did the first time?
Can't have it here because then it's continuity. People are going to be like, hey. Look,
the cap keeps moving.
Why is the cap not in the same spot?
Well, there's a scene in Godfather that people love to point out that, like, one of these scenes where Marlon Brando's talking. And because they use 2 different takes and intercut as it goes back and forth with the person he's talking to, every time you go back to Marlon, his collar is either open or closed on his button-down shirt. And it goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And it's one of those things that once you notice it, as somebody points it out, like that's crazy obvious. That's something you just can't unsee.
And that probably happened because there were 2 different days they filmed that
Probably,
scene, or it could have been,
especially with Brando. I'm sure they were like,
take 50. He's just like, I can open it in my shirt.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm opening it up.
Yeah, So there's a lot involved. It's good though.
Just want to really thank Ed for coming down and hanging out with us and coming down from the
Absolutely.
mountain.
Absolutely.
And I know you didn't bring us anything to drink, but I'll let it slide. Maybe next time.
We'll get a little Farrell one
next time. Next time.
See, I don't really partake in giving that out to y'all.
That's true.
Bosties,
True. That's true.
Maybe get Hassel to come and do that. I heard he's some trade, but it cost him a little bit.
It did.
About 2 fingers worth, right?
Yeah.
But after a couple episodes, I think he figured out that those fingers were worth it.
Yeah. He got a little bit.
Yeah, he got
a little bit of come up with on that, but not good enough.
No.
Yeah. I thought David Morse was going to have to get some makeup on every week.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to get lit up a little bit. I was like, is this kid going to light him up? I was like, oh, I wanted him to really bad.
Farrells don't kill Farrells.
But that's the thing. That's the thing.
But they did.
Yeah. It's happened.
It's true.
I got a feeling it ain't the first time either, though.
No.
Probably not in this clan.
First time that it's admitted to.
That's
exactly.
Sure.
But no one knows that, right? So. But no, thanks for having me, man.
Well, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, it's been awesome.
Really appreciate it. We had a lot of fun. And maybe we'll do it again one day.
Yeah, hopefully I'll see you soon.
All right.
Yeah, we'd love to have you back.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We'll return after these messages.
Hey, pod listeners. We post new episodes every Monday. And if you're looking for other places to listen to the Wicked Theory podcast, well, we've got some options for you. You can find us on the Wicked Radio Network, the Tangent Bound Network, iTunes, and the Apple Podcast app that's built into every iPhone and iPad. We're on Stitcher, TuneIn, Libsyn's podcast source app, Player FM, and soon Google Play. Of course, you can also hear full episodes at wickedtheory.com and on our Facebook page. As always, please subscribe, rate, and review where and when you can. That's what actually helps us to get exposure and new listeners. If you want to reach the show, you can send questions, comments, or any other little thing your heart desires to podcast@wickedtheory.com.
Yeah.
that should be on it.
That's got to be on the end of every one.
All right, so we're back. I really want to thank our new friend Ed Heavey for coming by from Outsiders. People can catch that Tuesday nights, 9, 10, 11 o'clock. I think they replayed a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to go into some emails on WGN America. And so now we're going to kind of go into some emails. Ed's sticking around.
Hey guys, how you doing?
We got rid of Dominic. We kicked him out. Nah, we just had something.
He had to go to a party.
I gotta go to a party. I gotta go see my family. So
It's overrated.
Well, isn't it though? So here's the thing: if you haven't joined us before, is that during the emails, usually what happens is that we're regular Ed, not the Ed who just left, but Ed O'Hare.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's not here all the time, so he sends us emails during the week. So when he is here, we have him read his own damn emails.
All right.
Ed, what did you send this week?
All right, so here we go. A couple of random questions.
Okay.
So here we go. Gentlemen,
Sir?
do you prefer mustard or mayo on a roast beef and cheese sandwich?
Mayo. Bob?
Neither.
There you go.
Wow.
Hey,
Okay.
keeping it easy this week, Ed. I love these questions. So
Okay.
far, really easy.
Gentlemen,
Sir?
do you think any of you could drink Andre the Giant under the table?
Doubtful.
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 I don't think a room full of guys could drink Andre the Giant under the table.
I mean, you could say, well, he's dead, but
It has to be an 8-foot table.
exactly
Tall.
Really.
How would a professional stylist change Jason Voorhees' wardrobe?
That guy needs an update. I'll tell you that. You're absolutely right. This guy needs a fashion consultant in a big way.
Mm-hmm.
I think the first thing would be to paint the ski mask.
Give him
Really?
a fresh coat.
You
Sure,
paint the
any
ski
any good. Well, not ski. I'm sorry, it's not ski
It's
mask.
a
It's a
hockey
hockey
mask.
mask.
Fair enough.
Well, any good goalie, any self-respecting goalie,
These days,
has a paint job on his mask.
right? High end stuff.
Yeah, high-end stuff. So you got to have the paint job on the ski mask. Number one.
What do you think he would get on that? Something creepy or something like nice? I can see like some flowers, some daisies, maybe something like that.
That would be
Or
good.
something cheerful. Something.
Some roses, a little,
Yeah.
little hummingbird above the roses.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Wow,
Right.
that's an intricate pattern.
Yeah. Some Bob Rossian. I want something very Bob Rossian.
Okay.
With happy little trees.
Exactly. Because he's making plenty of mistakes.
Now, does he keep the machete or does he go to a different type of accessory?
Well, it is an accessory, right?
Well, he can get a trick machete that starts out looking like a bouquet of flowers, and then when he raises his arm and brings it down, it's like poof, it's a machete. Just as it like
Fair enough. I think it's very Daffy Duck, but I like
I
it.
love how your Jason Voorhees would hang out at the Brooklyn Botanical Gardens.
Well, this is like my version of a PG-13 Jason Voorhees.
Oh, okay.
You know,
All right,
how do
all
you
right.
how do you keep the gore
Right.
but still get a PG-13?
Make him trendy. You know, I think he needs a flannel at the very
You dress
least.
him in Old Navy.
Yeah. Well, it's
Yeah.
inexpensive. I'll tell you that.
You know,
Should be called
There
cheap.
you
little,
Navy.
little scarf. You know,
Yeah, they're cheap.
Yeah.
Like $3 for $1.
the fake eyes, odd shirts. You know.
Yeah, well, that's what we should do. We should just
You know.
layer him up with some like $65, $200
the golf
t-shirts.
pants. You know, the white with the checkered pattern golf pants, and
You can just go to TJ Maxx and go to the clearance rack. It sounds like
but
we're,
he's got to
where
have
we're
the
sending
ski. He's
him.
got to have the ski mask. You know.
Well, it's ski mask getting a good
That-
paint job on that's not going to be cheap. So
Yeah.
that might knock him down to where he can only afford the clearance rack.
Well, it is still Old Navy, so yeah.
And he's not paying for
the
anything.
clearance rack at Old Navy is like $4. So.
He's walking in, walking out with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is true.
Okay, gentlemen,
Sir,
will we ever see a proper biopic about the Beatles?
No,
I'm surprised we haven't really, to be honest with you, now that you raised the point.
no,
Because-
because they're all going to be dead soon, so no one's going to be left to do a biopic.
Well, you think maybe like Paul and Ringo are like stopping that movie from getting made? Maybe that's why we haven't seen a really like good one yet, because no one's come
Fair
up with an
enough.
idea.
I mean,
might
that
meet their
could
approval.
probably be it. But I don't think that would really stop anybody if they had something they really wanted to get made.
Mm-hmm.
Like a biopic, whether or not you're alive, hasn't really stopped some people from making
Yeah,
one.
really, somebody somewhere, if you go to and say, I got dirt on the Beatles that no one knew and it's serious stuff, someone somewhere is going to want to make that movie.
And you know what, probably too? Somebody hasn't written the book yet that has that kind of a feel. Like the move, like this is the one we base the movie on.
Yeah.
It seems like every now and then a book will come out and that's all of a sudden spurs the interest in making the movie of that person's story sometimes,
Yeah.
to a degree.
What's his name? He just died this week. He passed. The
Oh.
fifth Beatle,
Yes.
George Martin. Was that his name?
No. Well, that was the guy from early. I think he was doing production. He was an early producer for them.
Mm-hmm.
Fifth Beatle, I think, is Pete Best.
That name does sound familiar. He
Well,
was,
no,
he was a drummer
Because
before Ringo.
no, because I think the guy that died this week, I think Paul called him the fifth Beatle because
Fair enough, because
was
he
the
did
manager.
something. Fair enough.
Someone wrote a graphic novel about him a year or two ago.
Oh, really?
I think that I'd be interested to see if they could do a movie adaptation of that.
Sounds like it's got some material in there. You got more email in there, Ed, from you?
I got one more.
One more from Ed.
Gentlemen,
Sir.
Was Ming the Merciless really all that bad? Did he earn that? Did he earn that nickname?
You know, probably not while we were watching. You know, not during that thing. He was so focused on Flash that actually he was probably, neutral. He was Ming the neutral during that.
Well,
you can't call him Merciful, but then again, he was like Mercy hiatus.
No, well, I think
or something.
After he retired and became a little senile, they started calling him King the Mercilessly Nice.
He's just too nice. Just smother you with hugs and kisses kind of guy.
Yeah.
That's creepy.
Yeah.
I don't want to get hugs and kisses from that guy.
No.
I mean, I don't mind.
Here, let me give you my kiss.
Yeah, but it's Ming. It's Ming the Merciless. Like, you know what I mean? It's Yul Brynner, right? Was that Yul Brynner?
Max von Sydow.
Max von Sydow. Back when he was sexy.
Yeah.
Max von Sexy.
With those eyebrows.
With those eyebrows and those fingernails.
Well, see, like
good
everyone,
times.
everyone talks about the 80s. You ever see like the 30s serials with like Buster Crabbe? That's good sci-fi.
Yes.
Some good stuff.
Some of it. I think the suspension of disbelief has to be really stretched.
It's hokey.
Yeah.
It's hokey, but it's fun. It's good. It's good. It's good old-fashioned superhero fun.
I can dig it for a while. Sometimes it depends on the thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes I'll want to watch it. Like, I did want to check this out, but sometimes it's like it's got too many things going on that I can't handle right now.
Yeah,
I'll turn it off.
You watch an episode or two. Oh, that's nice, and you wait till next week.
Fair enough. It's like the old Captain America serials. Like I've seen like one.
Oof.
And I just can't maintain after that. Like oof is right. Oofta, I think is the proper. You're right. I'll cut it out. What did you do? Did you fart or something?
Sneezed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know what happened over there.
I held it in. Almost blew the top of my head off.
Oh man, I might leave this in now. Bob needs a gasket.
But yeah, I think so.
Or maybe just a mute button. All right.
Did I say that? So that was all we got for you, huh? Yeah. That seems like as I look through the email box here, that is all we got from you. Good.
Who else talked to us this week?
So my grammar. Who does always talk us to?
Let's see. We got Agent Palmer.
Chief, it's Agent Palmer. So Agent Palmer opens up this week to a Monday morning tradition unlike any other, the Wicked Theory podcast.
There we go.
Oh,
Thanks.
St. Patrick's Day is approaching, so what's your favorite naturally green food or beverage? I think he's being sarcastic with the naturally in quotation. So, St. Patty's, they just love to put the green food dye and everything.
No. It's the Shamrock Shake from McDonald's.
Yes.
So,
I think that's the big one,
I think
right?
this year is like green buffalo wings, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised. You know what I mean? But I'll tell you one thing: the green bagels at the
store, bagel
yeah.
shops, yeah,
they're cool. But when I first see them, I always forget, and I'm like, those shouldn't be in there. I got my instinct is because I worked in bagel shops for too long. I'm like, no.
Yeah,
we were supposed to throw those out. I think
like a week ago.
At minimum, someone scraped off the fuzz. I think. So
why are they soft?
They're a little too soft. Ooh. So I don't know if you might have seen this video, Ed or Bob. I know that I did. Recently, a video of a cyclist being chased by an ostrich hit the interwebs. It kind of got a little traction, went a little viral. It's kind of funny. But the ostrich just chases after this guy. Like...
relentlessly?
It just goes. And it's like, this thing... Like, when is it going to drop? When is it going to stop, So it's like a very kind of interesting or funny video. I was trying to say both of those words at the same time. So if you were on foot or on a bicycle, which animal would you not want to see chasing you? Like, I guess what's the worst? You know what I mean?
An angry ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, I mean, that probably is because, like, even if you get away from her, she'll still find you again, probably. Mm-hmm. But for me, I would think the worst is going to be like a leopard, right? Like a really fast cat.
Or like a cheetah.
Yeah,
that kind of
like a leopard or cheetah, or even a fucking regular tiger or a lion. They got to be faster than.
Like you figure at that point they're going to get you pretty quick, and it's going to be painful, but it'll be over soon. So like there's some animals that just look so strange that whenever you see them in nature, you just like an ostrich or an emu.
Yeah.
Emus look fucking weird.
Yeah, it's not right.
it's just like what's
not-
going, and that's the kind of thing, like just the sight of them,
Yeah.
one just showing up right in my face or like coming towards me, like what the fuck is that?
And now you got
Kind
alpacas
of like
everywhere.
God made them after the night of drinking.
I think so. He's like,
Well,
let's give it a
yeah.
really long neck
Yeah.
and a tiny ass beak.
Maybe- no, I'm thinking more like hungover the next day, going to work, and like, I gotta make this friggin' animal today. All right, here we go.
Or like, you ever start strolling through Midland Beach or by like Staten Island University Hospital, and you see those turkeys start coming across the street?
The local turkeys.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
man.
turkeys of death.
Every time I see those, I just want to grab a BB gun and just start shooting.
For those who don't know, Staten Island has a, besides the fact that we are considered a borough of New York City, we shouldn't have this random flock, this clan of turkeys that just randomly goes wherever the hell it fucking wants to and causes all kinds of grief and traffic problems.
Yeah, and they
nobody
breed
has
and,
ever
breed and
addressed
poop
it.
everywhere, and on the hospital grounds.
Yeah, like where you think it'd probably be like a thing
Yeah.
to keep in check.
Yeah, I had heard that at one point something happened with a truck filled with turkeys being delivered to Jersey somewhere or coming from Jersey somewhere, and a bunch of them fell out the back.
Is that the
That-
legend?
That's what I had heard. I don't know how true it is now at this point, because these turkeys have been here now like 20, 25,
at
30
least.
years.
And they are ugly,
And they've-
disgusting creatures.
And the state has said that they can't be killed because they're protected. So they just have to be left there. You can't pick them up. You can't move them. Nothing.
Can't even do it. Yeah,
So
they're a locally endangered species.
Yeah.
You would think turkeys wouldn't be protected, but just in the city limits.
I'm at that hospital all the time, and I've actually had to like wait for them.
Oh yeah.
Like they just like sit there in the roadway at the
They
hospital.
were
When
down
you-
at my
when
job.
you-
Did I ever tell you they came down to West Brighton? They were down at my job.
Really?
Outside, and I thought the drivers, the delivery guys, were messing with me. They were like, "Oh, bro, those turkeys from out by the hospital, they're walking up and down the street out here." I'm like, "Yeah, okay, whatever."
They must have
They're
gone
like,
on a
"No,
bus.
bro, really?" And then like all day, they were just like hanging out, just chilling in the
They
hood.
must have gone on a bus or something. No, and I wouldn't put it past them to actually take a bus ride.
Well, I don't know where they're going to put the transfer because
Well, yeah.
I don't think they have pockets.
No, it's not. There's no transfers anymore.
Every
It's a
turkey's
Metro
got
card.
one. Well, where's he going to hold the Metro? Every turkey's got one Metro card stuffed under one wing.
Stuff it in the feathers.
So he goes on, our friend Agent Palmer, and he says, games are supposed to be fun, but when it comes to certain games, at some point, they no longer are. So with that in mind, when it comes to Risk and Monopoly, what kind of a player are you? Seriously, I'm going to flip this table if I start to get annihilated or not so serious. What the fuck is he saying? Serious. I'm going to flip this table if I start.
It's
Man.
like
To
he's
get
making the joke about like
annihilated or
it
not
being
so
a
serious.
sore loser.
No. I think there's a certain type of tone that you need to take when you're describing that. May I see? I think I know what he's going for.
Did you fucking write this? I think you're right. Well, you let me know, Ed. Ed's going to translate it.
All right.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be run
Okay,
together.
so
much.
he's basically asking, what kind of player are you? Serious. I'm going to flip this table if I start to get annihilated, or not so serious. But it's still going to cause a fight. There really is no middle ground. So which one are we? I'm the guy who will flip the table over. I'm a very sore loser.
Well,
No, I'm just waiting to hear your answer.
I'm the guy who wants to win, but usually doesn't.
Oh, I'm horrible at board games too.
Okay.
Yeah,
You know?
that's the worst.
No, I'll like be like one move away from winning, and like someone else will fucking like. I'm like, if I get a 3, I can get Boardwalk. Then someone's next turn, they'll get a 4 and get friggin' Boardwalk.
And is that it? Is that when
That's my no. I don't flip.
Oh,
or
okay.
I just. It's just
fuck this game and you walk out?
I'm just real pissed at that point. It's like 'cause you get so
Folded arms.
and then every time you play a game like that, because that happened last time, you're more
Prone to it?
more pissed off when it happens again, and then again and again and again, and it's like, oh man, it's like after a while you feel like you're destined for second place. I was like,
I feel like that's what they call a sore loser. I feel like that's kind of like the thing.
no,
Where it's
but
like,
I'm not talking about like actually acting out on it.
no, but I don't think being a sore loser always means acting out on it. And sore loser is one of those terms where it's a little too rough. I feel like.
Well, yeah,
Just
but
not
I think
good
you're
at
being too.
say-
I think you're being too strict on the term sore loser, because who's not going to be upset that they lose?
People who can handle
what
it.
you're asking is, okay, it's okay, you kicked my ass. That's not. If anyone's got any kind of competitive nature at all, they're not going to be happy that they lost.
Well, fair enough. All right, I'll back
Yeah,
that up.
but
I'll back
you
that
know,
up.
some
It
people
comes from having a competitive nature. I'll give you that.
So-
and determination to
Right.
win.
some people will internalize. They'll shake your hand. They'll go, all right, that's all right, and they'll cry themselves to sleep at night.
Right. Well, that's
I've done that.
Yeah.
it depends on the game, but I
My mom
know.
whipped my ass at Cards Against Humanity. I want to say that.
really.
Yeah,
And that's that's really not a game that
it was
it's
not,
all in the cards, as it were.
it was not pretty. It was not
The
pretty.
fact that you played that with your parents was probably awkward. So his next thing is now, before I go, can any of you non-sports guys figure out where I copied my greetings from?
What was the
Are the
greeting?
greetings?
So his greeting was to a Monday morning tradition unlike any other.
To a Monday morning tradition, unlike any other. I don't know.
Is that, a
Is
line
that
from
the
a
op-
song?
Maybe
No,
that's a Sports Center reference.
Well, can any of you non-sports guys?
Oh.
Oh, maybe it is, but he's pointing
Yeah.
out that we're non-sports guys. So can any of you actually figure it out?
To a Monday morning tradition, unlike
Maybe
any
we
other.
got to read these before we start.
Yeah.
His.
That
His-
sounds like something that was on Sports Center.
I'm
or
smiling.
I'm trying to
Yeah,
think.
it's definitely from a Monday morning sports show.
Mhm.
I'm
Monday
thinking
morning
like
tradition, unlike any
Boomer and Carton or something like that.
It might be.
It
But
sounds. It
he's from
sounds.
Pennsylvania, so
No,
I
it's
don't know if
definitely
he's listening to them.
definitely a Monday morning quarterbacking show.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. It does sound like that kind of a thing. So with that, he wraps it up. He says, "That's all for now. Bob can start playing me out." He's going to start directing from an email.
Oh, okay. In that case,
Dom-
this is his out today.
Well, this is how he wraps it up. That's it for now. Bob can start playing me out. Dom can correct something Bill said. Ed can stop talking semantically about the rules of risk. And Bill can say, moving on. Moving on.
I don't give a shit what that guy said. The Ukraine is weak.
Ukraine is weak.
That's how he gets played out.
Who's up next? Did Stephanie send us an email? Bill? Earth to Bill?
Yes, I'm trying to figure out what's going on in this email, though. I don't know why.
Was it written in Spanish?
Oh! This is from Steve. From Steve and Irina.
Oh.
Oh, and I see why. For some reason, because he forwarded it from her, I guess it was like collapsed in my email.
Gotcha.
So I'm gonna come in clean again. So with that, we have one more left, and it's from Steve Martinez.
Steve Martinez.
Steve, is it Martinez?
I don't know. I always got confused. Because one person said one thing, one person said another. I just call him Braulio.
There you go. And I don't even know what that means, but they've been calling him that forever.
It was just a random nickname Sacco gave him.
Was it really? Because
Yeah.
I thought it was his last name for a long time. I thought it was Steve Braulio.
I think it's like his middle name or his dad's name or something like that.
Okay, or some kind of something he mentioned at one point, and that
Yeah.
stuck.
Mm-hmm.
That makes more
He's
sense.
not the only person that I know with a strange middle name.
No. And they love nicknames at the store, so
Oh, yeah.
at the comic shop that we go to. So this is an interesting way to start. How does Batman's dick taste? I don't know what to do with that. Seriously, those favorite superhero answers were lazy.
Well,
And Soviet, I guess
Dick tastes with his tongue.
I guess. Oh, okay. Because we all said Batman last week.
Okay.
So we're all Bat fans. So we're like sucking on his dick.
Oh, okay.
How does
By the way, I wasn't here for that. So
Fair
basically, the whole episode, you guys were washing Bruce Wayne's balls. Is that?
I
that
guess
it?
that's to
Really?
Steve's
Yeah.
point, or at least because we answered a superhero question.
Yeah.
Favorite superhero.
Yeah.
Oh,
we all
yeah,
went
yeah,
with
yeah.
superhero.
Batman.
Yeah. By the way,
Right,
my
right.
answer is the real Captain Marvel, the original Captain Marvel, who everyone calls Shazam now.
Is
But his
Billy
name,
Batson.
his name is
He's
Captain Marvel. Anyway,
He is correct.
Fine, nerd boy.
We just called him
But anyway-
Shazam.
So his point was, so how does Batman's dick taste? Seriously, those favorite superhero answers were so lazy. In Soviet Russia, Batman picks you. So his question is, I guess the real question is, who's your second favorite superhero? If you default to Batman, then who would be your second favorite? Because
Batman.
A true Batman fan. That's exactly what he would say. He would say Batman or his utility belt. Either one. Either one is equally awesome. I don't know. I guess I did say Batman last week. So the question is superhero. If you had to comic book character, that would have been an easier answer for me. But superhero, I'll have to default to Captain America. Historically, maybe not as much currently in Marvel, but I grew up, that being my number one guy really, as a kid. So that's why that poster has been pulled out of the 1990s. A time vault and hung up in the room
with the very angry Tony Stark on all the way on the right.
Yeah, everyone's kind of there's a little gruffiness going on this wall behind me.
Really?
Of
except Tulip.
Well, someone's got to.
Tulip just looks like
she'll still shoot
a $5 horse.
She still shoot you. It's a smile of death. But anybody else? Second favorite superhero? Who's your first favorite? Because you weren't here.
My first favorite, as I said, is Captain Marvel.
It's like I didn't even hear that before. Who's your second favorite? You're probably gonna go what?
Billy Batson,
Marvel Boy?
Well, no. I go.
You're gonna do that? You gonna do that? Marvel Boy?
Captain Marvel Jr. That's his name.
There you go.
He can't say it or else he'll transform. Anyway,
true.
No, but my second. It goes back and forth. It's kind of a tie because they always hang out together. Which is
Booster?
Booster Gold and Ted Cord Blue Beetle.
There you go. It's a tough choice between the two of them, but that's a good choice.
Yeah, I was so busy going. I didn't think about the question.
So if Batman's your top pick, who would you be your second?
Well, if you're going to say superhero,
yeah.
Now, Marvel is the only one who can have superheroes, right? Because they own the word?
No,
like
they
Marvel and DC actually share
the copyright,
the trademark on that.
Okay.
There was one thing that they actually worked out.
Okay. All right, well, because I was going to just choose from Marvel then, but now you can't, so okay.
You can choose whoever you like.
Oh, I've never really been a DC fan anyway.
Say Robin.
So I would have to...
So I can go which one?
And I don't want to default to Captain America.
Fair enough.
Because you've already said that one, and I don't want to be like sucking Captain America's dick next week.
That's true. Let's not have anything match up.
So
he wants you to come up with something original.
Spider-Man.
Fair enough.
Okay.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. How can you not like Spider-Man?
Really?
Spider-Man's probably in like my top 5 too.
Yeah. Spider-Man, the Hulk. I used to love the Hulk as a kid.
These are classic perennial characters. They'll be around forever.
He's green. He's the color of money. I like money.
How can you not like that? So, although Dom left, so he could answer this one. I don't know if Ed watches. You watch Grimm?
No, I don't.
No, you don't. Right. So I don't really either. I will say my favorite character on Grimm is Mr. Grimm.
I was just going to say Grimm.
Grimm. Yeah, I like the main guy.
Grimm 1, isn't it a 2?
I'll tell you this much. I like the main guy since they gave him a haircut in season 2 or 3.
Oh, okay.
Because his haircut was distracting to me. I did watch a little bit of season 1, and I was like, that doesn't fit his head. I don't know who said that was all right.
Get a haircut, you hippie.
Seriously. And it wasn't even that it was long. It was just like they tried to give him some trendy kind of haircut that didn't work for him. And it really was just fucking distracting for me. And I know it's like the worst thing to like say, like admit, like, oh, it was a haircut. But I'm sorry.
That's why Leia doesn't have earmuffs anymore.
There you go.
Was it one of those metrosexual kind of haircuts? It was kind of like would work on a man and a woman, but it would make the guy look more like a girl and the girl look like a guy.
I wish it worked out that way for him, but it just didn't work. And you're probably right. It probably was kind of like this gender neutral kind of a cut, but it wasn't working for this guy. So we're gonna you can write that one in next week, Steve, and give it to Dom, because he left for the day. He punched out.
He shall be missed.
Already. I miss him already. Who was or is your...
Who was...
Bill just had a stroke.
Or is your...
His face is on the microphone.
I'm just trying to read the question.
With your face flush against the microphone?
I don't think he's got spell check on his shit. Who is your favorite Wesson so far?
Wesson?
I would say corn oil.
No, I'm more of a canola guy.
You know, they don't make like a hybrid.
Do it with a Russian accent like Chekhov.
Who is your favorite Wesson so far? My favorite was the old lady who was just like, no one is going to believe you, and walked away from Nick. I don't understand either.
It still didn't help. I still don't know.
I think...
I still don't know what he's asking.
So I was thinking maybe...
I thought maybe. With the W's.
I'm trying to think what we were talking about last week. Maybe he's keying into the old lady who walked away from Nick.
Nick.
I'm my brain can't process this question. I'm moving on.
We need a universal translator.
Yes.
Star Trek.
Yes.
Sorry, Steve.
You want to know?
Sorry.
Well, I know he watches.
Speaking of the
He
Universal
watches
Translator.
the Flash and Arrow. I know there's a bunch of.
Speaking of Universal Translator, I'm just going to throw this in because Palmer right now was like,
Yeah.
"Oh my god, I can't believe there's a reference." One of the questions I was going to give Ed Heavey during the quiz earlier was number 9. Now our quizzes go from easy to hard, but they're supposed to be generally softballs altogether, but they scale up. So number 9 was because I thought he might be a Transformers fan. He had some Transformers stuff in his Facebook. Do you remember the Transformers Universal greeting? So only a nerd like me got this when Palmer threw it at me last night, like when we were trying to come up with a document, and I was like, "Oh, that's fucking B-Wop Grana Weep Ninny fucking," I think, right? Because the Junkions say that. It was like, he's like, "Yeah, you're a fucking nerd."
Yeah.
If I was a true nerd, I would have had more confidence that I had the question right. Ed is going back over Steve's question. Ed grabbed the fucking.
I just lost a little respect for you, man.
Hey, man, it's just a movie, bro.
WESEN. What?
And I feel like it's contextual. It's obviously really contextual. It's a reference to something we said, but I can't break it down. It's too inside, and I think there's a spelling error somewhere.
What show do we watch where there's a character named Nick?
And an old lady. So now you have 2 questions, Steve, that you can repackage for next week. Number 2 and number 4, we need a repackaging. But we love you, baby. How
Absolutely.
excited?
Please resend them.
So how excited did that Daredevil season 2 trailer make you this week? Was it your favorite Daredevil? What was it? Bob's spanking it. Stop it, Bob.
I'm sorry. I'm just watching the
we
trailer.
have like 3 new listeners this week. Let's not offend them. What is your favorite Daredevil moment in the show? I think we kind of discussed this, but one of the best things is obviously that hallway scene.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the first thing you think of when I'm thinking about Daredevil.
That hallway scene is so good. I wanted much, much more of that kind of fight choreography in the rest of the series. And don't get me wrong, the fight stuff is great, but it's not special like that first scene is.
No, but you know what? That hallway scene is so good. I don't think I would mind if they were to do hallway fight scenes for the rest of the season.
It's just a lot of hallways.
I think I'd be done with it by the end of the season, but it's only 13 episodes. I think I would enjoy every single friggin' fight. And every time a TV went from one room to another, I'd be like,
yeah! That's great. Well, I'll tell you what, there is some speculation because there's some scenes in the trailers that look like we might get another hallway kind of fight scene, at least a little bit. Yeah. Like,
they're going to, I think,
it's going to be the trademark every season.
That's going to have to be the way they grade it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, tight quarters.
Tight quarters fighting is the way to go with this show.
Absolutely. So, how about favorite non-Italian food? Because I guess we all listed Italian foods.
Yeah, all right.
Ice cream. I don't know if they have invented it, but if they did, then I'll say
gelato. That's ice cream.
No, I know. That's one of my favorite.
I'm sorry,
foods.
that's Italian ice cream. Forget it.
It's certainly one of my weaknesses. Ice cream.
Ice cream. Yeah.
Get a good country fried steak.
You weren't here for that. What's your favorite food, Ed?
My favorite food, it's probably like penne vodka or chicken parm.
Right.
Chicken. See, like
we grew up in New York and we were inundated with Italian food. So
well, also like
I don't know why it's a problem for him.
Well, we grew up in New York. There's a lot of Italian food, but we're all Irish, right? And
technically.
And Irish Americans,
when
they go to an Italian restaurant, we all get chicken parm. That's it. That's like the only thing we need to see on the menu. We get chicken parm, unless it's a really special occasion, right? And then like a graduation or a wedding, or then we get veal parm.
Or shrimp. Sometimes we do the shrimp.
The shrimp.
If it's a holiday.
Well, your girlfriend or your wife will get that.
Don't fucking put me in that box.
The budget's a little tight.
I'm the shrimp guy. Don't put me in a box like that.
Okay.
We're trying to minimize the shrimp people.
Okay, chicken parm, veal parm, shrimp. All right, Bill can have his shrimp.
Not to knock Bob. I'm not saying this is about you at all. But you know who's the guy who misses out is the guy who gets the meatball parm. Because he's paying the same price as the chicken parm. And we all know meatballs cost like next to nothing. So, that guy's eating like a $2 hero but paying $8.
That's all right. Everybody at the table is eating pizza also, which is the cheapest thing you could ever get from a restaurant.
Fair enough. Yeah, it's insane what some of the places out here charge for a pizza pie. It's actually fucking robbery.
It costs less than $2 to make a whole pizza.
You know what I mean? And these guys want to charge you like $16, $17.
$16.99.
You know? Outrageous. outrageous.
Why do you think the biggest growing section of fast food is pizza?
There you go.
Everyone wants to be a pizzeria because it's the most profitable.
All right, so he's going to wrap up with one last question. Oh, I'm sorry. This is from him and Irina, I should say. It's not just Steve. But, hey, girlfriend. One drink the rest of your life, plus water. But what would it be? You can only have one drink for the rest of your life, but also water. Because you can't have just,
It's easy for me.
Well, Bob doesn't even really drink water. Let's leave it at that. Like, unless technically
If I
it's
get
in
to
his
pick
drink.
one drink, I'm good because I pretty much drink only one thing.
There you go. He's a big Diet Coke fan.
Mm-hmm.
And
Diet
Ed?
soda.
Diet soda.
Yeah. Well, diet root beer is very good, but like if it's just the only thing I'm gonna have,
Yeah.
I could go for a nice vanilla egg cream.
You know what?
Well, that's kind of a thick thing to have only.
Granted, you have water to wash it down.
Oh yeah,
but it's not going to go with everything. Although I don't know. I don't know what it won't.
I'll have it at meal.
Well, actually, now I'm thinking about you can drink water with all your meals and everything, and just have the egg creams as your desserts.
Yeah,
fair enough.
Right.
Just water all the time, and then egg cream to punch it up.
When you need to. There you go. That works.
That was an ingenious question.
I think
for me,
you snuck it in as a dessert.
Yeah, basically, I think for me,
you found the loophole.
I was gonna say, well, you said water, so can I choose water? Can I have water and more water? I like that water is wet.
How about water and scotch? Or
no, not a
something
scotch
like that.
guy, but
vodka.
Well, vodka I can't have it with just water.
Tequila.
I can't have any liquor with just by itself. I have to have something with it. I'm that.
Well, if you could,
guys will make fun of me, but I'm that guy.
Whiskey.
Was there a part of this question that said
Vodka
you're going to be on a
whiskey.
deserted island? Because maybe there'd be some coconuts or some lemons or some limes.
Something. Let's put dirt in a cup.
Right.
But that's gonna wrap them up, please. P.S. Oh wait. I don't know what show he's writing this to. P.S. How crazy was that love scene between Nick Burkhart and Adeline? Do you think she's hotter than Juliet? That must be a grim question for Dom. He must be under the impression that we were all kind of like into it.
That's probably
what that is, because I don't know Juliet.
Okay.
I think that might be a character from Grimm.
Could it be Once Upon a Time, or would that be Grimm? Maybe because
Right,
that's the second time Nick comes up. So they've got to be on the same show.
We're figuring out this puzzle. Hold on, let's go back to question 4. No, wait.
Hang on, let me look at Grimm's IMDb page. You're looking. It was the Weasons, right? What's your favorite Weason?
Yeah.
Yeah, the main character in Grimm, or at least the top billed actor, plays a character named Nick Burkhart.
And all the Grimms are actually called Wessons, I bet. Because it's like, who's your
Something
favorite
like
Wesson
that.
so far? So every week it's a case of the week kind of thing. The wolf, the fucking pigs, or whatever fairy tale it's adapting.
That's
And
it.
they must refer to them as Wessons.
All right.
Figuring this out.
Yeah, we could have been on one of those cop shows.
Yeah, well, see, we're as good as those guys.
So maybe,
It takes 3 of us, but
Right. Is there a chance we could actually go back and answer those questions? Or?
All right, so let's see. Is your favorite Western so far? My favorite was the old lady who was just like, no one's going to believe you. And walked away from Nick. Okay. So I guess there was some old lady.
Well, Nick's my second favorite.
By the way, there's a Grimm fan right now who
Like,
hates
hates
our
us.
guts.
Oh, hates
They're
this show.
screaming into the.
He'll listen to the end, that fan, but he's not listening to another one. I want to hear how they wrap it up.
Sons
Sorry.
of bitches.
Well, how about
Dom.
maybe if we promise that Dom will be back next week and they can send us new questions.
Yes.
Or we could
Yes.
just
And
read these to them.
we can send them to Dom.
Yes.
because-
Please address all Grimm stuff to
yeah,
Dom specifically.
There's been some kind of misunderstanding, and this way maybe we can keep somebody. We only have about 5 people, so we need every
6.
listener.
We had
6?
Ed. We had Ed here today. We had Ed Heavey, and he'll probably listen back.
Yeah,
At least I'm hoping.
very cool.
So yeah, I think that's going to wrap it up for that email from them. We managed to figure out at least what was going on.
There we go.
There we go. It was Grimm stuff. And I think that's really going to wrap us up. We were just kind of getting to it. We'll get to news and stuff like that next week. Obviously, just to touch on it real quick. Yeah, everybody's excited for Batman versus Superman, Iron Man versus Captain America, and Daredevil versus Punisher. That's your news stuff for the week.
There we
Yep.
go.
There we go.
Yeah, and we got a busy week next week, don't we? With stuff like Batman versus Superman and Daredevil same
And
weekend.
Daredevil. So, yeah. So hopefully next week's episode we'll have a review from Batman vs Superman,
Wow.
and we'll have touched base with some Daredevil episodes across the table.
No sleep next weekend.
Yep.
No sleep.
And right after here, I'm going to see 10 Cloverfield Lane. So
you
maybe
are.
we'll talk a little bit about that. You guys want to come?
I'm thinking about it. Shit.
We'll talk. We'll
No,
talk.
I'm
We'll talk off mic.
We'll talk off mic.
And we'll let the listeners wonder.
Yeah.
Suspense is killing you.
So if people want to contact us, how do they do that?
They can do that. If they want to send us emails,
Mm-hmm.
they can send them to podcast, because we're a podcast,
Mm-hmm.
at wickedtheory.com.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're the Wicked Theory Podcast. You see how that works? See how easy I've made it? Just spell theory right.
Get all up in there.
Put the E and the O in the proper order.
Lather it up.
I don't know if they can't really send the lather through the email. But that's I'll put crickets.
Why
in
you
there.
got to think about it?
I'll put crickets.
I
in there.
it was
So-
going. I had a flow going, man.
Was it a lathery flow? You should see a doctor. All right. So where can people find you, Ed?
I am on Twitter at Edward O'Hare TBD.
Where can they find you, Bob?
Bob at WTPC, right? Yeah.
You can find Bob through my follows on Twitter. At
No,
the
I'm
very
kidding.
least.
It's Bob at WTPC.
There you go. And you can find me on Twitter at Wicked Theory. You can find our Facebook page on Facebook. If it's a white rapper kid or somebody making really the kind of crappy T-shirts, that's not us. Find the one that has our logo and like nerd stuff stamped all over it. That's us.
You follow Dom
You can follow Dom too. Oh my God,
at Dom_Tory.
that's correct. TORRE. Because I don't want people to get that mixed up.
Mm-hmm.
I would hate for that to
Like the Yankees manager.
happen. Exactly. I guess I'm going to take your word for it.
There we
I
go.
know he's a Tory, but I don't know how he spells it. And that's going to do it for this week. Thanks for listening. Thanks for coming in. Big thanks to Ed Heavey again for coming all the way down the mountain. I mean, Brodane, Shay, Braden. They say Braden. I say Brodane because I say it like I read it. I wanted to call him brah. Hey, brah. But I don't think anybody does that. So Bob can take us out of here at his leisure.